Hello world, this is Prince Sefa-Boakye and I am in the city of San Diego, California, sitting inside my beautiful campus of my old alma mater, San Diego State University. And today I have a very, very special guest who is not only a fellow Aztec and a classmate of mine, but is a trailblazer in international politics and affairs. His name is Mr. Mohamed Ahmed. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. So Mohammed is the co-founder and CEO of Cure Africa, which stands for Communities United Reviving East Africa. Now, for those of you who may not know what is Cure Africa, it is a non-profit organization that is aimed to mobilize the East African community to advocate and help end famine in the Horn of Africa. It has facilitated awareness programs on campuses like San Diego State University, Cal State University Long Beach, University of Minnesota, and more for the past 4 years, and has raised an astounding $30,000 in donations to build an elementary school in Somalia and $48,000 for American refugee community I Am a Star for Somalia campaign. Some of his notable achievements are Community Activist of the Year, presented by his fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Inc., Community Leader of the Year, presented by Somali Youth United, and I hope I'm spelling this right, pronounce this right, ISCORIAN? Yes, ISCORIAN International of the Year, presented by SDSU, International Security and Conflict Resolution. Wow, that is a lot to say, Mr. Mohammed, and I'm so happy to see you here and have you come on my show and talk about what you do. So, first of all, great congratulations, great job, and if you don't mind shaking my hand, it's okay, it's okay. So, Mohammed, I know you have a very, very busy schedule. So let's go ahead and start the conversation by introducing yourself and tell my audience what you do.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Prince,
no problem.
and being interviewed is a great accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
But a little bit about me. My name is Mohamed Ahmed. I am originally from Somalia, although I grew up here. Came here when I was very young. What I do, what I try to do in anything, regardless of what job I'm working, is serve the community. And I found passion in serving my refugee community here in San Diego, and that's what led me to founding this organization that does local work and also international work. So currently I serve as the executive director of Cure Africa, Communities United Reviving East Africa, and we have many local programs and we have international programs as well. So this is currently what I do.
Okay, so how was Cure Africa founded?
Initially Cure Africa was inspired by famine relief. So in summer 2011, you were a student here at San Diego State,
definitely.
just like me. I started seeing familiar faces on TV. Children dying in massive numbers due to starvation, terrible drought, and I never really related back home in Somalia. I've already seen it on TV or seen what I've seen on YouTube. So I got my friends together who are from the Horn of Africa, and I said, hey, let's start, advocating. And that just grew within itself, on campus, selling wristbands to having awareness programs. And next thing you know, we actually raised over $180,000 for famine relief.
Wow.
So that's how this organization was inspired. And on our first phase, we went and delivered humanitarian aid with food supply, hospital beds, mosquito nets, stuff of that nature. Then we transitioned more into education, and currently that's what we focused on, education.
Okay, now you accomplished so much. I want to know, especially for those who want to start a nonprofit organization, how do you start a nonprofit organization?
I never really knew what a nonprofit organization was. I just wanted to get involved and do what I thought was a good thing to do.
Okay.
Then I, fell in love in the work that I was doing, and then I start looking for, careers in this field. Then that's when I came across a nonprofit and be like, hey, you could have your own nonprofit, still have your cause, right?
Yeah.
And you could, still continue the work that you're doing. So nonprofit, it's not easy. It takes a lot of raising money. It takes a lot of networking. It takes a lot of patience and writing and reading and research. But if you're passionate about a cause, nonprofit is the way to go.
Okay, excellent. Now, I really want to talk about politics on this show. And right now, the biggest threat that is rising like never before, especially international affairs, is terrorism, especially in Africa. I understand your work, and I've been following your work, and I have to commend you. So if you could just tell my audience, what do you see is the solution to this threat? And what are you doing to prevent it from spreading it here in America and around the world, especially the youth in East Africa?
You know, the rise of terrorism is without a doubt it's a global threat. What happens in the Horn of Africa, in Somalia, or in the Middle East, or somewhere in Europe, it has an effect globally, economically, politically, militarily. Right. So when you're looking at a country of Somalia who've been in collapse for the past 24, 25 years, right? So all sectors of society kind of break down, all institutions. Right. So these youth are back home in Somalia are joining Al-Shabaab, which is a terrorist organization, and then years back ago there was an excitement for the youth of joining piracy because they thought it was an economic opportunity, and that led them into trouble, right? Okay. So, but that was just in Somalia. But right now, global terrorism is very global, right? So what happens in Mogadishu or in Somalia can have an effect here because there's such large Somali populations here in the U.S. as well.
Really?
So then we started seeing trends of Somali youth leaving the United States to go fight for ISIS or Al-Shabaab, right, or Al-Qaeda, and that's what we're trying to prevent. So we got together, we got with the community, we got with the elders, and we believe that the future of this country is its youth, right? And we believe the future of Somalia is dependent also on the youth. So we need to save the youth on getting them away from these challenges. So we came up with a program called San Diego Cares, and it stands for San Diego Coalition for Anti-Radicalization, Education and Support. So the way we looked at it was, okay, say Prince hypothetically, a young, teenage kid was going to join a terrorist organization or even a gang. Something has to go wrong in his life, right? Okay. So we looked at 3 factors. 1, if that youth was doing good in school, right? That means he has a bright future in front of him. Right. He has no time to die, right? No one's going to convince him, hey, go blow yourself up, right? He's like, no, man, I got straight A's. I don't want to go nowhere, right? Okay. So second component is if that youth has job employment or workforce training, then he's working, he's making money, and if you're making money, you don't want to die. Right. Right? Okay. So no one can convince you, hey, go blow yourself up. You're like, no, man, I got work in the morning. Right? Okay. And the third thing is, on their free time, if they're having fun, like playing recreational sport, or they're involved in community service or community activity, right? Leadership building, they're having fun. And once you're having fun, you don't want to die either. Okay. So we brought those 3 components together, and that's what this coalition to fight against radicalization is about. Okay. Now, the biggest question I always ask myself, do you feel that America should intervene and help countries like Somalia or Ethiopia to stabilize their own country, or can they do it without America's help? America's already involved. Okay. And they've been involved. There's pros and cons. Ultimately, the solution for the Somali people is gonna come from the Somali people itself. Ethiopia is a stable country already, but the U.S. I'm sure has strong relations with Ethiopia to further stabilize other African countries, including Somalia. But this is up to the Somali people. But surely we need America's input, the United States. We can't do this by ourselves. So we need some shoulders to get up, and hit the ground running. Yeah. And America plays a critical role in that. And so far, they've been supporting Somalia. They've been with Somalia, through tough times and easy times. And we, as a people, are looking forward to getting assistance and further support also from the United States.
All right, thank you for that. Our time is running short, as you know, so I'm going to ask you two more questions, which is, why should the world care about your nonprofit organization and the people of East Africa, if you think they should?
Yes, there's many reasons. The list could go on and on why people should care about my organization, in generally in the people of Horn of Africa. So the thing is, a lot of people gave up on Somalia. Some people, when they hear Somalia, they say, oh, again, another issue, another problem, terrorism, piracy. So they're tired, they're aghast, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to revitalize that energy to build a better future for the Somali people.
Okay.
And this is coming from an African effort, right? So it is important for people to support these initiatives that we have, because now they're not just giving and giving, just like how Somalia or many other African countries are just receiving aid. Now we're here, right? Not only to give, but also to empower, right? And to move, to a better future. So I believe what we're doing is critical, and it's going to make a difference, and it's already making a difference.
Right. Well, I just have to say, I commend you for the work you've done. I mean, I know this guy for at least 5 years, and he's done some great things. He's a trailblazer, and he's under his 30s, okay? That's a lot to say. It's a lot to say. I don't know, maybe you'll run for mayor, right?
Probably one day.
One day.
So new challenges for the community, which means new leadership, and if that leads itself into running for public office, which is something I'm considering, and also my community is considering about supporting me in, we'll look forward.
All right, I look for great things, nothing less, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, last question is this. If there's a child in East Africa who is watching this video right now who wishes to accomplish what you have accomplished, to have a college degree, to be a CEO of a nonprofit organization, to do the work that you're doing, what would you say to him or her?
When I went to Somalia, I met with a lot of school children, and I had this stereotype of my own country that when I was going to meet these children, and I've toured over 15 schools and a few universities in Somalia, I thought everyone wanted to be the president, right? Because that's what I grew up thinking. In Somalia, in Africa in general, everybody wants to be the president. So when I went and talked to these kids and I said, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? It surprised me, because they said things that I didn't even think about. They said, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a scientist, right?
Okay.
I want to be an engineer. So that hit me. So Somalia is changing regardless of what situations arise. So I would advise that kid, your future is bright. Don't give up on yourself. Believe in your country, right? And I would also advise, these children back home in Africa in general, be proud of who you are, right? And fall in love with your own country, because you can't be successful anywhere in the world if you have no love for your roots. That's where it begins, right? So I consider myself successful, right? Although I still have long ways to go, but the thing is, everything that I do is for my people and to make a difference back home. And one of my mentors shared a story with me. When he was growing up, his father asked him, son, what do you want to be when you grow up? So he said, I want to be successful. And his father said, son, don't be successful, be significant.
Wow.
So he shared that powerful story with me, and I would also share this with anyone that I can. It's not about being successful, it's about being significant. Right? What are you going to do to help change the world for a positive, into a positive world? So that's what my advice is.
Okay, well, that's going to end on that note. Mohammed, thank you so much for being on my show. If my audience out there wishes to learn more about you, your organization, or wishes to join your cause, where can they go?
Well, definitely they could go to our website, www.pureafricausa.org. You can catch us on Facebook, and we're soon going to be releasing our Twitter page as well.
Okay.
So they can get updates and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to getting even get to know your audience.
Oh, thank you so much. And for myself, for more people in politics, you can go to my personal website, which is www.princessdailyjournal.com. Also, I have a Facebook page. You can find me at www.facebook.com/princessdailyjournal.com. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Mohammed, again, thank you so much for your time. I know you got to go. So until next time, guys, be good and stay classy. Bye.